Hi, it's Andrew Wallis here, coming to you today from a glorious and warm Vancouver. I'm currently on my world tour. I'm enjoying my last day in Canada, and we're about to head out to Australia for a few weeks. I'm really enjoying what I call this business backpack lifestyle, as it's given me the opportunity to travel, catch up with friends, while still running and growing my business. So I want to welcome you back to this third article in this 4-part series, detailing the biggest mistakes I've made as a fitness business owner and how you can avoid doing the same. So this week I want to discuss something you've probably experienced before. It's a costly error I made early on in my entrepreneurial journey, taking the trial and error route instead of learning from the experience of others. Thankfully, my business lived to tell the tale, despite some poor choices along the way. But I know my path to growing to 6 fitness bootcamp locations and 7 staff members would have been so much smoother if I'd taken a smarter approach. But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here, so let's get back to the start of the story and see why this lesson matters, in my opinion. So as I say, I started my fitness business back in 2004. I'd already spent at that time about 5 years in the industry, and I believe I still had useful confidence on my side, and that running my bootcamp business would work. Guiding the business in those early days was exciting. Every business brought with it the opportunity to learn something new. And when my business was still fairly small, I could afford to go with my gut and make the choice I felt was the best. And worst case scenario, I learned a valuable lesson moving forward and avoided making the same mistake in the future. Now, it's all well and good going with your gut, but when you're starting out or leading a small team, I found that as your business gets larger, the situations facing you get more and more complicated. You can't readily apply your previous experience in the industry to what lies before you. Now, when hiring my first few team members, they worked out great, but adding further members to the team became more and more of a challenge. I'd ended up making some errors in judgment, taking on the team members that weren't quite right for the business, not delegating enough, does that sound familiar? And perhaps not focusing on the right things to move the business forward. This resulted in a much bumpier road to what it really needed to be. My old approach, which is based on trial and error and going with my gut, was no longer appropriate for the kinds of decisions I was making. With the team to lead and clients depending on me to make smart moves, I needed guidance. I needed somebody to advise me on those critical matters, and I needed training and support so I could learn to manage my team better rather than just winging it. As you can guess, I kicked that particular can down the road for a long time. Too long, to be honest. I didn't think I had the money to spare for training and coaching. I thought, I could figure it out myself, and if I gave it enough time, and to be honest, coaching wasn't really that well known back in those days either. While it was still possible we could figure out by ourselves, the reality was it was costing myself and the team more money and missed opportunities than we saved by skimping in this area. But hey, look, I'm going off topic here. So let's refocus and get back to what matters. When it comes down to it, I think I'm creating this education series with one main goal in mind: to help you avoid making the kinds of mistakes that I and so many other business owners have made in the past. The kind of mistakes that cost you time, money, and valuable opportunities. The kind of mistakes that hurt your business badly without giving anything of value in return. Simply by listening to some materials like this, or going back on things and trying to, the try and error approach to business, you're going to learn. By learning from the experience of others, we can discover what works and what doesn't work faster than we could on our own. I'm not disparaging the value of trial and error. and listening to your gut instincts and helping you make better decisions. In fact, I believe that experience is a crucial part of effective decision making, but it should be combined with learning from other people's experience too, especially those that have been there and done it. Taking a trial and error approach to making an important decision is like desperately searching in a haystack with your bare hands and searching that needle. Learning from the experience of others, on the other hand, is like using a powerful magnet to pull that needle to you, saving you a heap of time and energy in the process. So you're sold on the value of learning from others, but for whatever reason you're not in a position to seek out a formal coach at this time. If that's you, hey, don't worry. You can benefit tremendously from the experience of others in many different ways, including, as I do, reading blogs, newspapers and industry publications. LinkedIn is great, for example. There's some really good written content there to help you take your business to the next level. Reading biographies of successful business people to get an insight into how they made decisions, and that can be contemporary or historical. There's loads to be learned there from the lives of others. And don't worry if they're in different industries to you. The principles of sound decision making are all the same, regardless of the space we find ourselves in. Listen to podcasts and interviews with business owners you respect. I love Chris Ducker's Youpreneur FM weekly podcasts, as well as Brad Costanzo's Bacon Wrap Business. You can find them on iTunes. Network with other business owners, either in your own area or via social platforms like LinkedIn. Having friends you can informally bounce things off can be a great help as well when you're faced with a tough decision. Invest in high value training courses, either in person or online, for you or one or more of your team members. Anything that will save you or give you more time and money is worth looking into. So let's bring this video to a close. After all, I've got a plane to catch. There's a time and place for learning through your own experience. I've seen this in my coaching practice. While clients often rely on me for advice, the final decision rests with them, but they value the fact that I've walked in their shoes. Experience is vital in making better choices, and simple trial and error is one way to accumulate this experience. However, relying on your gut to the detriment of learning from the experience of others is a fool's game in anybody's book. Learning from others can take the form of reading their content, listening to their interviews, investing in their training, or simply talking to them. No matter how you do it, getting outside perspective is valuable. Don't make the mistake I and so many other business owners have made in the past. Learn from the experience of others. This will allow you to shortcut your learning curve, and this will enable you to build your business faster and easier than ever before. Hope you find this helpful. In the next video, I'm going to talk about the fourth and final mistake I made as a business owner and recap everything I've covered so far in this four video series, so stay tuned. Now, if you've enjoyed it and you want to share it on social media platforms, hey, I'm more than happy for you to do that. And be sure to like and comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.